Sexual and gender-based violence undermines opportunities for women. It also goes on to deny them the opportunity to practice their legally rightful rights. So today we're here to discuss on issues to do with sexual and gender-based violence. You'd find that in Zimbabwe, 1 in 3 women between the ages of 15 to 49 have been physically abused. And you also find that 1 in 4 women have experienced sexual abuse from the ages of 15. So today on the Youth and Health SRH talk show, we're focusing on issues to do with sexual and gender-based violence. And to help us unpack this phenomenon, we are joined by Rachel from the Adult Rape Clinic and also Assistant Inspector Tongofa from the Victim Friendly Unit. Rachel and Assistant Inspector Tongofa, we welcome you today on 263 UTV.
Thank you.
So our opening question is going out to you, Inspector Tongofa. What can you say is sexual gender-based violence and who is mainly affected?
Thank you, Tabitha. Sexual and gender-based violence is any harm of sexual act, be it physical, psychological, mental, emotional abuse, and this is perpetrated against a person's will. This is usually based on gender differences, that is between male and female. And the people who are affected with this kind of an offense or act, it's anyone, be it male, be it female. Anyone can be affected with this act.
Thank you so much, Assistant Inspector. And Rachel, I know that in your line of work, you get to interact with a lot of victims of sexual and also gender-based violence. Why do you think it is women who are mostly coming up and reporting about these issues?
Oh, thank you so much, Tavita, for that question. I think women are the most people who come to report because of their gender. Men, because of their self-ego, they think if they come and report, then they are not men enough. So women and girls are the most group that come to the, be it a health center, be it the police, be it the hospital, are the most people who come and report because they feel that their lives are in danger. But because men, they think that they are strong, and if they come to the hospital and report that they've been sexually harassed or sexually abused, then people will not see them as men. So I think that's why women are the most people who come and report these cases. Yes.
Assistant Inspector Tongofa, you'd find that because of our cultural setup, it has become harder for men to come up and say, listen, I'm going through this, I've been sexually assaulted, or I'm being violated at home, my wife is being violent to me. Do you think that there's anything that we can do, especially as the police force, to make men know that it is okay for them to come out and report these cases?
Thank you, Tabitha. Of late, it was like that. Many were not coming forth not to report cases of gender-based violence to the police for the fear that they would have displayed them being coward. But of today, after we have realized that they are not coming forth to report these cases, we instituted campaigns engaging male counterparts, to making them understand that we have got a desk, which is the victim-friendly unit desk, which accommodates, be it men, be it female, and we are having the understanding of privacy. Men are now coming forward to report their cases. You do find that, yes, of course, the numbers are still minimal, but they are coming forward. We are encouraging every sector, every partner, every stakeholder, to give information to the men that they are acceptable in the community, in the circles of the law, to report the abuse they are facing.
Thank you so much. And Rachel, what can you say are the different forms of gender-based violence?
Okay, so when gender-based violence, there is what we call, there is sodomy, there is statutory rape, whereby an older person has sex with a young person that is from 18 years and below, those people, they won't be able to consent for sex. So if they have sex with an older person or elder, then that's sexual rape. So we also have incest, whereby this happens between relatives. Maybe a father can rape his or her own child. So that's incest. Then we also have what we call aggravated decent assault, whereby women are the ones who be the perpetrator. Because we cannot say that a man has been raped, we say it was aggravated indecent assault. So those are the forms of sexual gender-based violence that we have. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rachel. And to you, Assistant Inspector Tongofa, I know that in your line of work, you get to interact with a lot of people who have come through and who are traumatized, right? What can you say are some of the consequences of sexual gender-based violence, especially on adolescent girls and young people?
Yeah, Tavita, the consequences of sexual gender-based violence, mostly on young women, young girls, youth, is that in the end, by the end of the road, they will get sexually transmitted diseases. Mm-hmm. That is number one, and is of importance. Two, their vision in life would have been disturbed totally because of the abuse they would have suffered. Usually, when we grow up, we'll be thinking of having families, and once you are abused sexually, that will and hope would possibly have been deterred because of that. So that itself, it's a hindrance, it's a challenge that young girls are facing right now. Even young boys as well, they are abused per annum. When I'm saying per annum, that is from the ANAS, that is aggravated indecent assault. So for them to understand other male counterpart, it will be very difficult. And at the same time, you won't be having much to live for. As such, you end up committing suicide. Mm-hmm. This is the most reason. And sometimes you would find that young girls are denied from they are divorced actually from their family setups once they are abused. And people will be now naming them, giving them names after they have suffered the abuse. Mm. These are some of the consequences they suffer.
So the Assistant Inspector brought about the topic raising on the rape culture, whereby our society normalizes male sexual assault and goes on to blame the victim for allowing the rape to happen. We have made it so normal to say, listen, if someone was sexually assaulted, if someone was raped, what were they wearing? What were they doing there? Why were they there in the same place? So we want to understand what we can do as a society to make sure that the victims do not feel victimized or are not furtherly removed from society. And you'd find that Assistant Inspector Tongofa spoke about how lately in this world we're living in the digital age, whereby everyone is posting online, and that has made us vulnerable, especially women, to issues like revenge pornography, and also having our nudes being posted on these big platforms with over 500,000 or even 1 million followers. So we need to be able to protect ourselves, not only as women, but also men, with the information that we're sharing with our partners, who might in turn go on to use this information to plot revenge against us. Rachel, which group of people can you say are mostly vulnerable to sexual and gender-based violence?
Oh, thank you. I think, as Inspector mentioned before, earlier on, that everyone is a victim. Everyone can be sexually abused. But the most people who are being abused are women and young girls, because they are so vulnerable. So some of them, because of poverty, their backgrounds, where they're coming from, and because they want money, they want to go to school, they want a lot of things. So because they'll be attracted to money, then they just give in to sexual gender-based violence. And we also have the mentally challenged people. Those people, they are being abused, and the disabled, they are also being taken advantage of what they are.
Assistant Inspector Tongofa, we've spoken about how lately we are living in a world whereby people abuse each other sexually because of money rituals, whereby because of poverty, someone will put themselves in a situation whereby they'll be abused because they're looking for money. Also, you've spoken about issues to do with social media. How then can we as communities protect ourselves from sexual gender-based violence?
Thank you, Tabitha. I think for now there is a need for us to have a continuous campaign educating communities to stand by one another. At the same time, to have what we can call positive parenting, because the community has it, and if they see any abnormality in their community, they have to report it the soonest. You would find that somebody sees that the neighbor is abusing his or her young girl or a boy, but they keep quiet for the fear that we don't know what he will do to us. So the communities has to have the information. They need to be encouraged, to report any case of abuse they would have, come across in their communities. Together we can fight this, because at times you'll find that the police itself will be a little bit far away from the community, but the communities themselves, they will be always together. So if we fight this from the community level, I think we can win this fight. As much as I believe, and I want to tell men that there's nothing like if you use a young girl, you make money. Let's work. Out of work, you get whatever you want. So let's desist from being lazy and tend to work, so that we can have a safer community, safer Zimbabwe, safer us, safer young girls, safer young boys, and everyone else involved. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Rachel, what can you say that you're doing as the adult rape clinic to address issues to do with sexual and gender-based violence in Masvingo?
Okay, as adult rape clinic, we've been doing a lot of awareness campaigns, some radio interviews, some road shows. We are on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, giving messages about sexual gender-based violence and what to do if one has been raped, and where to go and how to handle the case when one has been raped. So we've been using all social platforms to reach to the people, to the community, even to the young children. We've been using such platforms so that they know what to do and they know where to go when they've been raped.
I'd like to commend you for the work that you've been doing. And to you, Assistant Inspector Tongofa, what can you say as the victim-friendly unit you've been doing to address sexual and gender-based violence cases in Masvingo?
Yeah, us as a victim-friendly unit, we are working with all stakeholders in trying to bring sanity, educating the communities. We do campaigns in schools. We do campaigns where people are gathering, trying to impart knowledge, to give them the understanding of the statutes, and to let them know the limitations of their rights. It's all about rights here, and everyone has to enjoy the rights. So we do campaigns now and again in communities. We engage almost everyone, including the local leaders, community leaders, and everyone, the church leaders also. We are engaging them in trying to curb the issues of gender-based violence. We are also educating young girls and young boys to have confidence in them and be focused. This is what we are telling them. But it's unfortunate at times that they don't come forward, to listen to us when we are talking, because they will be busy doing other things which they think it can be useful to them. Yet alone, the information we'll be having will help them a long way. So we are doing campaigns, and we will not stop. We will continue doing it. We are also encouraging other stakeholders to do the same through our meetings we hold with other stakeholders. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Rachel, what can you say are your last words to our viewers?
I want to say we need to end the rape culture, and if one has been raped, you need to report within 72 hours. Hashtag 72. So need to report within 72 hours so that you'll be able to you'll be able to prevent HIV, unwanted pregnancies, and some STIs. So thank you.
To our viewers, I'm pleading with you, if ever you come across any act of sexual violence, I'm pleading for you to have a prompt reporting before the lapse of 72 hours, so that you can be assisted in preventing sexual diseases that are attracted to sexual violence. And at the same time, as in Africa, we are 2 hours ahead of the GMT. So I'm pleading with the young girls and the boys that there is no hurry in Africa. Why would you want to experiment things before you get there? Let's wait until it's ripe, so that we can enjoy what we think is being enjoyed by others. At the same time, let's walk in groups and let's deter those who would be offenders from committing such crimes. We are in every police station. VFU is there. So once you are abused, visit the police station and ask for victim-friendly unit office. There you will be assisted, and there is confidentiality. Be it your father who would have abused you, your brother, your uncle, your mother, your auntie, whoever, even those who would have threatened to kill you, they will definitely not kill you once you report your case. But I'm emphasizing on reporting. Let it be the soonest. The moment you realize that your rights has been infringed, please rush to the police station and look for the VFU for assistance. I thank you.
Well, and that's what we have today on 263 UTV, and we were focusing on issues to do with sexual and gender-based violence. I was joined by Rachel from the Adult Rape Clinic and also Assistant Inspector Tongofa from the Victim Friendly Unit, and we explored the various aspects that have to do with sexual and gender-based violence. Remember to report any sexual and also gender-based violence within 72 hours so that you can get the help that you need. And if you see anyone in your community, be involved, be in charge, and help that person find the help that they need. Until next time.